You all know I'm one of the biggest supporters of MLP G5, but even I have to admit that some stuff just doesn't work as well as it did in G4. The most prominent thing for me are the songs. The songs in Friendship is Magic are implemented in the story. They are adding to it. It's the spontaneously bursting out into songs and nobody questioning it what made it all so charming to me. The contents of them were less superficial too. They conveyed their lessons with the help of these songs. Good examples are songs like Flawless, driving the story along by showing how the characters accept their own flaws and aren't afraid to admit them, in an entertaining and catchy song. Even the first proper song, Giggle at the Ghosty, adds to the story, even if it breaks the fourth wall kinda. Twilight is bothered by Pinky starting to sing. This is the first and last time that happened though. G5 on the other hand is filled with genuinely better music to be honest, but it feels so empty. Musically speaking, the songs might be better, I'm not denying that. But most of them can't incite the emotions G4 songs can, at least for me. They don't add to the story most of the time either. The movie did it well. Some of the songs they are like fit right in. We're advancing the story while showing the characters bonding. Even Tell Your Tale does it decently with songs like Opaline, showing more sides of our main villain, or the Trash song, which I have to admit, is way better than a song about trash should be. They got better in chapter 4. The songs feel more involved in some parts, actually aiding in bringing the cast to the goal. But for the most part, especially in the 3D show, they feel like generic pop songs. Instead of spontaneous songs, they use songs Pip canonically had to write. No random stuff out of nowhere, but actually in-universe songs. G4 didn't have many of those. It's fine if you like it that way, but I prefer the randomness of G4 songs. I don't need fancy chord progressions, I need feelings. The next thing is something I defended for a while. Sparky. I still don't hate that little dragon, as explained in that short, but I have to agree with the criticisms he represents. His design. When I first saw him I honestly thought he was cute, but the way too large head and the weird shape make him look uncanny in 3D. Same fate that hit Opaline. I know many don't like the 3D style in general, but those two are the most prominent examples. 3D is also very limiting on the cartooniness that made G4 so charming, especially for Pinky. The 2D version is mostly fine, but they have these annoying fart jokes Sparky causes so often. But it isn't the worst thing for me. The worst is his difference to the dragons we knew. The Deus Ex Machina fire is stupid. We didn't know any dragon who could do that in G4. Spike being the closest with his sending letters through fire. I could live with that, if they didn't overuse it so much like Deus Ex Machina in general. Because one dragon with special powers isn't that big of an issue for me. What annoys me more is that he was born with rings. We are specifically told that dragons are going through a molting process. G4 established something and G5 just ignores it. This isn't the only time that's the case, but this is one case that actually bothers me. Which brings me to another point. The reliance on G4. They focus so much on G4 stuff that the proper stories and background to the new characters fall short. I like the fact that G5 is a continuation of G4. At the start, it was really well connected. The movie did a great job at connecting the two, but everything after that felt like it was desperately holding on to G4. I have experienced it on myself. Every time I put something G4 related in the title, it would get way more views, so I can't really blame Hasbro for relying on it. If it's the fandom that doesn't want to see anything else. There's an argument to be made that G5 is just bad and people get excited to see something they are used to. But in the process, they aren't giving G5 a fair chance. Which gives Hasbro that incentive on bringing back G4 stuff. Most recently as of writing this video, with the name Secrets of Starlight for chapter 6. It's obvious bait to get G4 purists to watch it in hopes that Starlight Glimmer will be relevant in some way, shape or form. Hasbro knows that the fans are eating that up, so the first step to making them rely less on G4 is to give the original G5 stuff a chance and attention. It's a comparatively young series, and has already experienced so many improvements, and more will happen as it goes on. Which leads me to something else that has been bothering me ever since the last big announcement. So many people seem to think that G5, or at least the 3D show, is ending. Calm down people, the only thing they announced is that there won't be a chapter in 2024. And currently, nobody can say if they will pick it up again after the year or not. Maybe they will just start a new arc in 3D that just isn't Make Your Mark anymore, since that was mostly about Misty and her journey. And by now, she has mostly made her mark. We know that she will continue that in chapter 5 too. And once that is done, we might get a new subtitle for the next arc. Just wait and see till we get official announcements confirming either side. I need to be positive to some degree here though. I really like where G5 has been going. Make Your Mark has been improving exponentially, and so has Tell Your Tale. The latter has done exactly what it was supposed to. Advertisement to younger audiences and toy sales. That's why they supposedly want to focus on the YouTube show. It helped them sell, as well as help them to learn what the audiences want. Make Your Mark on the other hand didn't quite work. I would blame that on the way they release. G4 released in longer seasons with an episode a week, which keeps people better entertained than today's binging culture that the batch release encourages. But I'm getting negative again. I'm usually one of the biggest G5 supporters, but even I have to voice my criticisms at points. That's what this video is for, and I hope you enjoyed it regardless of the negativity. I need to mention one thing G5 does better than G4 though, and that is Misty's reformation. I made a video on that, and my honest opinion is that it was better executed than most G4 villain reformations. But the real problem is that I'm comparing it so much to G4. But what do you think? Are there things G5 does better than G4? Do you disagree with any of my takes? Let me know, join my Discord if you want to discuss some more. Thanks to my patrons, especially to Maverick, and until next time for the bonus, fellas, and bye.